up? So, we're planting corn. Just to let those of you that are there already know, I seem to have some cell phone coverage issues in this field, so I may or may not be able to keep this going. If it cuts out, I will be back, I promise. So don't leave me. I've got, what do I have left? About 13 acres left in this field, and then we're going across the lane over there, and I bet I have better cell phone coverage over there, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, let me get everything set up here. I'm trying to bring up the chat on my iPad in the corner so that I can see it better. There it is. Skip ad. Okay, cool. Cool. Skip ad. Okay, not top chat. Cool. Okay. Alright. Planting tonight, I see. Yes, we are planting. And we are planting... See it? Corn. We're not planting beans. Well, we are planting beans today. Phil is planting beans. I am planting corn. I don't know if it's the right thing to do or not, but it's what I am doing, so you'll hear all about it in tomorrow's video. How's everybody doing tonight? I am doing well. Planting is going... It's going well, actually. Well, it's working nice, so that is good. Mile fuzzy for you guys, or is it just on my video over here? Maybe trying to do 2 videos at once is a bad idea. Let me close this one. Great cell phone service, so we'll see how it goes. If you lose me, I will be back. So, looks nice and dry there in Wisconsin. Still too wet. Rain coming in the morning. Yeah, it's fairly dry. It's not great, but it is good enough to plant. This is one of the fields that we worked up back in March, so it's kind of a stale seedbed situation here, and it's planting beautifully. About perfect seedbed. It's a little wet underneath, but because we don't have to do any tillage right now, we just float across it and do it. So it's working really well. David, thank you. Appreciate that super chat. I appreciate you watching all my videos. I see your comments almost every day, so thanks. Awesome. Really appreciate it. All right, what else do you guys want to know? You got to ask me questions or I got nothing to talk about. I will hold my phone here so you guys can see. There's the planter a little bit more. John Deere 1770 NT, 30-inch rows. What we worked on this winter. One of the two that we worked on this winter. So you guys have seen this. Same planter we've run for quite a long time. I'll flip the camera around here. See out in front, we are right behind the farm here. This is the field we're doing. My seed warehouse is across the field over there. I have planted from here to the woods today, and we're going to do a field back over there when we're done with this one. Planter monitor, everything's running pretty well. I really haven't had any issues. I had to dial in the section control earlier, but our depth was pretty good from where I wanted it. I'm really happy with how everything is running. So we've got about 46 acres done, it says right there. That's what I've done today. There's, I think, 22 in the other field we're going to do, and maybe 10 or so left to do in this field. So that's what we've got left to do. All right, comments are rolling in. Let's mount that. Flip you back around. All right, South Georgia. Thanks for tuning in. About time to get some corn in the ground. Yeah, thanks for that. It's still iffy on whether I should be out here or not. I have not really seen... there is some other corn in the ground, but nobody has planted in the last few days because of the weather forecast with the snow and cold and everything that's coming. I am not going to plant corn tomorrow, even though tomorrow looks like a decent day. I don't want to plant in something that's going to get cold right after we plant it. So They say you want 48 hours between planting and a cold snap. We don't quite have 48 hours, but we've got close to that. So, what population? So this field is variable rates. The hybrid that we are planting is one that takes lower populations in general. So we're planting a little low, but it varies between 23,000 and 35,000. I'll show you in a second here. Not yet, but we're pretty much almost done with the field. So those are the varying populations. The green is like 35,000. The yellow is like 31.8, I think. There's a little bit of lower stuff in the corners, but not a lot. So anyway, 8. I'm down to 8 viewers, 12 viewers. Sorry. Yeah, that's my cell phone coverage for you. Soil temperature. I have not stuck the soil probe in the ground today, but yesterday it was 61 degrees. That's pretty good. So that's given me a little more confidence to go ahead and plant, because the ground is so warm that even if we get cold, it's going to stay above freezing. And if we do get some snow, that will insulate the ground a little bit and help keep it a little bit warmer yet. So I don't know. But the soil is relatively warm, especially for what's coming. And that's because the sun's been out the last few days and it's really warming stuff up. All right, how many acres do we farm? We farm a little over 3,000 acres total. Patrick, happy birthday. What variety? Right now I am planting Golden Harvest 11 V76. This is a new one for me, but it did pretty well in my plot last year, just across behind my seed warehouse there. And when I asked my agronomist, who told me don't plant, if somebody wasn't going to listen to you and going to plant anyway, which hybrid should they do? This is the one he kind of recommended, because it has very good early season emergence and vigor scores. It has a really good flex ear, which means if we do lose a little bit of the population, it will compensate for that. And it's our fullest season hybrid that we plant, so it gives it the longest growing season. So for those 3 reasons, I'm planting this one. Evening, Nathan. We got rain here in Ohio. You did? You got rain there? I guess we had a little shower last night, but it didn't amount to anything. How many acres you got in the book? So corn, we're up to like 50 acres. Beans, we've probably got not quite 200 in the ground so far, somewhere in that ballpark. Phil finished the field where we planted my March beans. He finished planting that one today. And then the field that I planted yesterday. So, and he's, I think, in another field. I don't know. I saw him come back and load the planter up. So, did you spray some pre's on those March beans? We did not, and that's going to be an issue now because we can't get the pre-emerge on, or we're not going to be before they spike through. So we'll have to change our chemical plan, at least on that little bit. And 3,300s yesterday at my house. You know, Trevor, I thought it looked wetter down there, but it didn't even register at the farm here. So, well, we'll plant. What did they do to the tractor you just got from the shop? Yeah, so our 8430, we just got that back Friday from the John Deere dealer. It went up there for 2 things: a fan drive, because that belt was surging a little bit. If you go way back to my March videos where we were watching that, the fan drive was surging and was causing the belt to squeak. We also wanted to get the engine dampener replaced on it because it had 5,100 hours and had never been done. And after that went out on this tractor, the 8R last fall, we thought, yeah, we better get that done. So it did those 2 things, and then once you've got that tore apart far enough to replace those, you might as well do a water pump. So they did the water pump while it was there as well. Where do you live? We are right on the Ohio-Michigan border. What seed corn brand? Golden Harvest. So I actually am a Golden Harvest dealer, so we plant all Golden Harvest corn on our farm. Well, from New Jersey, best of luck with the season in the house. Thank you. Appreciate that. If you toggle airplane mode off and back on, the phone will be forced to assess nearby cells to get the best signal. Do this before you begin streaming, of course. Yeah. I actually restarted my phone about 10 minutes before I started the stream. It helped for a minute. mentioned that planting is a sprint, and the faster you get the crops in, the better the yield. Wondering if larger planters or high speed would pay, or what are your thoughts on going bigger? Yeah, so I have said that, and that is generally true. But here's the thing, if I wanted to, I could plant all my corn in 8 days. How much faster do I need to do it? And how are we going to keep up with the tillage and everything else that you got to do that? So I would love to get a high-speed planter. I would love it. Partially because I can plant faster, mostly because it will do a better job. The electric drive is better. The spacing and population control and the singles and doubles is all better with electric drive planter, exact emerge, high-speed electric drive planters. And so I would love to go to that, but it's really hard to justify to plant faster. And so when we upgrade planters, that's what we'll get. But that's not on the top of the list of equipment upgrades at the moment. So someday we'll get there. That day hasn't come quite yet. Just watched the Grand Rapids news. Looks like 2 to 4 inches on Tuesday through Wednesday. Yeah, this snowstorm, I don't know what to expect. My phone just says heavy accumulations possible. I have seen several Facebook weather pages for Southeast Michigan or the Toledo weather stations that are saying potentially we could get 6 to 8 inches of snow on Tuesday. I have no idea. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if we got that, because it would insulate the ground and maybe keep my beans from dying. But it's crazy, you know, for late April to get that much snow. Getting some snow is not unheard of. 6 to 8 is very unusual. The Kunkles aren't rolling yet. Yeah, I didn't figure there's many other people in the area. 65 viewers, 37 thumbs up, looking good. Yeah, well, we're up to 108 now. I must be behind. Alright, we have 80 more acres of sugar beets to plant. Nice! You guys are moving right along on the sugar beets up there. I know a lot of them got planted the first week of April, or even some back in March, at least in the thumb of Michigan. I don't know where you're at, but sugar beets can handle the cold a little bit better than the beans can. Good luck with planting 21. We can't start before April 20th here in Eastern Ontario. Now, Joey, I have a question. Why can't you start before April 20th? And if you watched my video today, you'll know what I'm getting at, but that's... If you're still here, let me know why. +2 in medicine at... +2 here in medicine at Alberta. I don't know what that means. Southern Ontario. Enjoy watching my USA neighbors. Been planning for another weekish. A lot of people from Canada here. Welcome, guys. Alright, I gotta plant some Endros, so I'm probably gonna fall behind even more here. Are they pouring the footings for the house this week? They're supposed to. So, oh, that's gonna be a problem. So, house project this week. The concrete guys are supposed to be there to do the footings and the walls between the 19th and the 21st. Well, that is Monday through Wednesday. Something tells me they're not going to get done with the basement walls and everything by Wednesday. You know, that snowstorm might have something to do with it. But I'm hoping that they show up and at least do the footings. The other thing is, when they came to dig last week and my builder was out, I was talking to him and he said he let the concrete guys know that they were digging the hole, and the concrete guy said, well, we have 27 holes open. So, like, oh, okay. So I'm not so sure they're going to get here this week, but we'll see. All right, we have an obstacle. Check this out. There's an auger in my way. Did you guys see that? So, that's unusual. If I didn't have markers, I could plant right under it, but my marker won't fit. So we've got to plant up to it and then go around and we'll figure it out. Backing up with this tank gets interesting sometimes, but I think we'll make it. All right. Just barely, but we made it. Okay. Let's see. All right, where am I at? How did you guys get the name Borderview Farms? That one I can answer. So, where our farm sits, we are literally on the state line. And like it cuts this farm right in half. The one we're planting right now, the one where our farm sits, the home farm that my dad bought originally, sits in both Ohio and Michigan. And so my dad came up with that name, Borderview Farms, way back in 1980 for their corporation, and it fits pretty well. So that's where that came from. This auger is right in the way. It's making this difficult. Turn. We've only got like a pass and a half left here in this field, so there. Alright, so now let me get this set back up. Is there a east side? There is not. Okay. Where are we at? What's the average price of land in your area? $25,000 an acre here in Canada. I would say, I haven't seen anything sell recently. I would say we're probably in the $5,000 to $6,000 an acre range right now. Maybe going up with the price of grain and everything else going up. That's US dollars, not Canadian. And we are a good hour from any major metropolitan areas, so we don't have that developmental push. It's all for ag and recreation use around here for the most part. Belgium, welcome. I'd like to look into Golden Harvest seed and see what the difference would be between them and Pioneer. You should, because it's good. Everybody's got good stuff. That's what like I tell my seed customers, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that what you're planting is no good, because that's crap. Every company has good seed products, and every company, has something that should fit. Are there differences? Absolutely. But not to the point where you should... Hang on, I gotta set this up. Alright, setting a new auto steer line. So, as long as you've got somebody that knows how to help you and can recommend the right varieties and hybrids for your farm and your acres, you're going to get good seed pretty much from any seed company. Now, price matters, and you don't want to overpay for seed, but there's a reason that cheap seed is out there, because it's older genetics and stuff, and that doesn't mean it's not good, but things do get better over time. And so... back when I started selling Golden Harvest, we planted a lot of Pioneer seed. I did a lot of side-by-sides for a number of years. I think it was 2013. I had 6 fields that I split the planter half and half, Golden Harvest and Pioneer. The Golden Harvest won 5 out of the 6 side-by-sides. And it was $20 or $30 a bag cheaper than the Pioneer. And I don't get paid to sell Pioneer. So I couldn't justify keep planting it. And ever since, we've been 100% Golden Harvest, and it's worked out pretty well for us. So, I win some, I lose some as a seed dealer, but overall, I know my products well enough to know where they should get planted, how they should get planted, all of that information that is critical. And so, I feel like Golden Harvest is quite competitive, and I'm happy with them. generally they've treated me pretty well on the seeds dealership side of stuff, so I can't complain too much. All right, now I'm kind of in a tough spot here. I pulled up into this corner to plant what I could, but now I can't turn out because of that auger. And I can only back up so far. It's going to be tricky here. I really don't want to have to fold up to pull out of here, but I might have to. That's embarrassing. Gosh dang it. Trying to get that every last acre spot. Not really done here. I've got one pass left to make, but I can't get out of this spot. I'll show you in just a second. So I wanted to plant this corner, right? Because I can pull up into our grass and do it, but that is there. And normally I can pull up straight into a corner and then back up far enough to make the turn, but with that auger there, I can't make the turn. And I couldn't back up far enough before my tank got all sideways on me. So I folded up so that I can pull through here. We're gonna drive through the driveway and go in back over the field over there, unfold, and make my last pass. Ridiculous, but that's what I had to do. Too much stuff in the driveway. I gotta go all the way around here. Tell you what, alright. Here in South Central Alberta, Canada, it's about $2,000 an acre. Now that sounds cheap, but you're in Alberta, Canada, so yeah, I can understand that. We're in the thumb of Michigan. Okay, so you are in the thumb of Michigan. I know a few people up there. Are the Amish out doing any field work? You know, I haven't driven around enough lately to see if the Amish are out doing any field work, but they might be. They typically get started pretty early. I did drive by a field yesterday, Friday I think, and their oats were coming up, so I assume they planted them a few weeks ago. Crop insurance and Pioneer won't cover seed replacement if you plant before that date. Gotcha. Thanks, Joey. So, yeah, I talked about that in yesterday's video and again a little bit in today's video. It'll come out tomorrow. I decided not to let the crop insurance companies dictate when I plant and when I don't plant. And the seed companies will cover the seed. So plus our crop insurance date for corn is actually April 10th, so we are fully covered here. Beans doesn't come until the 24th, I believe. So I won't get any replant coverage on beans if they don't grow. But so what? I'll get free seed out of the deal if I have to replant them, and it's not the end of the world. Alright, now we gotta unfold again. I have to hold the button on the box, otherwise it won't unfold. Alright, where am I at? That's the weather here in Madison. Tried to rain. Hasn't rained here yet. There was a system that went through last night, but we pretty well missed it right where we're at. So, okay, start my back fans back up. Steer line. All right. Are you worried about the snow this week? I am very worried about the snow this week. There's not much that I can do about it. I mean, I could not plant, but I am more concerned for the beans that are spiking through than I am anything else. Especially the beans that we're planting now. Those beans will be fine. If I can plant beans the 17th of March and they're still alive and growing and looking great now, I got no worries about the beans that are going in the ground. I am slightly concerned about this corn because corn, when it gets cold, within 48 hours of it being planted, it can cause some injury, some chilling effect. Could make it difficult for the corn to come up out of the ground. We can get uneven emergence. We can get reduced stands. Things that are not good for corn. And corn is more critical. You want every plant to come up and you want them to come up at the same time. It's not that it won't come up. This corn's going to live. The issue is, what does our stand look like and how even is it when it does emerge? That's the big question mark. So there's some risk in planting this. Dad and I talked about it. He was pushing me really hard to go and plant, and I kind of decided if I don't do this, I'm going to wonder what would have happened all year. I'm going to be kicking myself if I don't do it. So we're going to plant a couple of fields. We're doing about 70 acres. It's not the end of the world. If it doesn't grow, we'll be fine. So that was the decision-making process. All right. This field is done. So we're gonna drive back to the next field. We got more end rows that we'll have to get planted. I'm gonna fall way behind in the chat, but you guys will be okay. While I'm driving, I can read though, maybe. Looking good, Nathan. Nice to see you planting. Thanks, Al. How many hours do you plan to replace tractors at? Yeah, that's a tough thing for me to answer. It heavily depends on the tractor, the economic conditions, the yields that we have, all kinds of stuff. So let's see, the last tractor that we had that we traded off was when we bought the 9R, and we traded off a 9300 that I think had 4,600 hours on it. This tractor, the 8R, when we bought this, we traded a 4955 that was a 92 model, and it had 6,700 hours or something like that. So we aren't rolling tractors every 2 or 3 years. We're not replacing them at 2,000 hours or something like that. I would like to see us start trading before we get to 5,000 hours, but sometimes you can do that, sometimes you can't. So in my opinion, the 8430 is the next tractor to get traded, and it's pushing 5,200 hours. I would like to do that sooner rather than later, but again, there are more pressing equipment needs, and so I don't think that's going to happen this year. Maybe in another year or two. I don't really know. We'll see. So I don't have a great answer as far as what number of hours and when that happens. Hello from Oklahoma. Hello from Ontario. I got a lot of people from Canada watching. Welcome, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for reading my comment. The reason why we can't start yet here is our insurance doesn't start till later compared to you guys. Yeah, again, I don't care. Do you have problems with insurance in both states? Yeah, the dates may be slightly different in Ohio and Michigan. I'm not sure. Again, I don't care. Stop. It's too early to plant corn in your zip code. It probably is. It probably is. Actually, it's not too early to plant corn. It's too early to plant corn with the given forecast. Massachusetts. Hi from Green Bay. Go Packers. All right. or offsets at. Have trouble figuring where to measure from. What offsets are you talking about, Logan? So lateral offset is 0. My GPS receiver is straight in line with everything else. As far as the numbers for distance from the drawbar to the planter and for the GPS receiver height and all that stuff, I would have to look them up. And if you send me a Facebook message, I will do that, but I'm not doing it now on the live stream. Alright, let's get this all set up. About right there. I'll show you. What the heck? We'll show you. So, we've got to change fields. Let's see. In that last field, we ended up planting... Oh, my totals are gone. What happened here? Alright, well, we planted 53 acres. So, alright. I need to change my pages a little bit, but we're going to hit this button. We're going to select the field. This is 1-2, south of the lane, middle. Okay, so it's going to pull up the field now. The next thing I need to do is load my prescriptions, which is more difficult than it used to be because I made them with my John Deere instead of an Apex, but I'll talk about that in a video sometime. So we're going to go to Document. Maybe. There we go. And we're going to hit this RX button. We're going to hit a shape file. We're looking for, oh, okay, we got to import it first. Okay, so we need to go here, cancel. We need to hit the GS3 tab, memory, RX. I need 1-2, import. Let's read a question while we're waiting. If you were going to upgrade into a new 8R, which transmission would you go with? Also, have you tried the new Command Pro handle? I have not tried the new Command Pro handle. I would like to. I love the IVT transmission in this tractor. That's what I would pick. I don't know that my dad or my uncle would pick the same transmission that I would, so we would have to have a discussion about that, I suppose. 1-2, what is this? Nope, don't want that one. Starter zip. Okay, imports. So these are my two prescriptions that I need. One of them is for the seed, the other is for the starter. And once that loads, then we can go select it. Planting in eastern North Dakota. Good. You guys are farther north than me. That makes me feel better. Alright, so now we go and hit shape file, and then we got to find this one, I assume. Yep, so this grayed out is the variety number, so that's how I know it's the right one. Seeds by seed count. Seeds per acre, 32,000 is our rate. If it loses GPS or doesn't have a script, hit accept. It's going to show me what that looks like. How could I get a seed catalog from you to check out the variety? The easiest way for you to learn about Golden Harvest hybrids is to just go to goldenharvestseeds.com. If you send me your send me an email with your location and stuff, I will see if I can figure out, you know, what information that you need as far as seed rate or Golden Harvest seed goes. So, alright, so that one is good. Now we need to come up to the corn starter tab and do the same thing. Select a shape file. It should be this one. Yeah, okay. Corn starter. Let's change the name of it to starter 2-1. That's the field number. Product type is a fertilizer by volume, because we're doing it in gallons per acre. Out of field rate is, nope, not 15, 13. 13, accept. Not picking on you, but it would have been faster grabbing a tractor and moving the auger. I don't know that it would have, but that's possible. You're probably right. Or at least the forklift. Okay, that looks good. Accept it. So we should be good there. We need to go to the guidance. Nope, I don't want this. Here, guidance. Let's go back to my swap track. Now we can set that up and select all the lines we need. We need the east ends, we need the main, and we need the west ends. Okay. Steering on. Now we should be ready to plant. Put you back up here. Turn the camera back around. I'm going to throw a marker down just so that I have that reference. Well, we're going to hit our auto steer line and go. Seat's going in the ground. I'm going to get a background map pulled up here just a second. Oh man, that's going to be... Oh, shit. Alright. Where are we at? What'd you miss? Yeah, I don't know. How much do you farm? A little over 3,000 acres, Tim. Hampton Roads, Virginia. Welcome. Ontario. A lot of people from Ontario. I got it to live chat and not top chat or whatever that was. None of us can plant, so we're while watching you. Yeah, that's fine. May your weather be favorable and profitable. Thank you. Just what do you think is right? Just do what you think is right, boss. Farm for 48 hours and more. Yep. That's the other big factor, is that it is only going to be a very short cold spell. Like 2, maybe 2.5, 3 days. And then it's going to get warm and nice after that. I'm just afraid it's going to be wet. Snowfall warning for us on Wednesday. Just have to watch instead. Yeah, it's snowfall warning here too. I just am ignoring that. Retired building contractor. Enjoy your channel, especially the details. You present so well. Thank you. North Carolina. Hi from Blissfield. Now that you're close. North Carolina. I would trade the 8430 and put 8,335 hour on the bean planter. Put the new tractor on the corn planter. Yeah. That's kind of what I would like to do too. The problem is, if we upgrade the 8430, I have a feeling Phil's going to want the new tractor. And I don't blame him. I do too. So, we'll see. I don't know. You got to do what makes sense and what's most reasonable, I guess. There's going to be a big gap in tomorrow's video now because I've been doing a live stream instead of filming. Like, all of a sudden, we're going to be in a new field. Oh well. They'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. So I like the 2630 or the newer monitors. Okay, so I do not have a ton of experience with the new Gen 4 monitors. We did buy that 4240. I have basically used it for mapping fields and spreading clover seed in a gator. I haven't put it in a tractor. I haven't done anything super important with it yet. So far I like it, but there's going to be a learning curve to it. It's a little different than what I'm used to. So I can't give you a good answer on that one yet. Which do you like better, planting or harvesting? I really enjoy both. Probably planting is more enjoyable, but only because it goes faster. Like I always, some people always ask me, or I get this question a lot, of which job is your favorite? I don't know that I have a favorite as much as it's the first 2 or 3 days of any given task. Right? Because after a while it gets old and you're like, all right, we got to get this done. Let's be done. But boy, that first day of planting right now is so exciting. It's awesome. Now today was a little stressful getting going, but we got it. The first couple of days you go to the field combining, whether it's beans or shelling corn, they're awesome. They're super exciting. But it drags on after a while. So I don't have a favorite. Just the first day. It's go time. Yes, it is go time. Thousand Oaks, California. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. North Dakota, Monday and Saturday, good chance of rain up here in Midland. Hey, did I catch up? Sweet, I thought I was way behind. How is the soil temp and how much down pressure is it taking? So, soil temps, I did not check them today, but I did check them yesterday. It was 61 degrees. That's hard to complain about. So that's why, kind of why we're planting, or at least a factor. Planter has active pneumatic downforce. and it seems to be doing a pretty good job. Yesterday in the beans, in that stale seed bed stuff, I was running about 300 pounds of downforce. Where's my line? Where's my line? Sorry, first pass along the edge. I gotta get it where I want it. Right about here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. Sidewall compaction a little bit, so I backed off. There we go. Sorry, if you're new or you're just joining and you haven't heard me, I have spotty cell phone coverage here at best, so it may come and go a little bit. I will be back, I promise. I mean, I try and promise. But, anyway, that's what happened there. So, where was I at? Up here a little ways. Anyway, that's what the deal is with the down pressure. Low of 26 Tuesday night here in southwest Wisconsin. Yeah, that's about what I have seen too. Both Tuesday night and Wednesday night are supposed to get cold. I can't remember which one of them was colder, but one was like 29, the other was 26, and that's plenty cold. So we'll see what happens. The beans we're planting now will be fine. The beans that are coming up right over there, it's going to be iffy. Why do you need markers and what are you using it for? Right, so the marker arm's sitting there, right? I'm obviously not using it. For the most part, I don't use them when I'm running the auto steer. The only time that I throw a marker down is when I'm doing ends or I'm along an edge and I don't have a good auto steer line and I want to mark that next pass. So what it does, if you don't know, is that arm folds out here like that, and it will make a line in the soil. Watch it, like that, and that line is the center of the next pass. So when I turn around and come back, it will be right in the middle of the planter pass, and I can follow that. That's how people planted and drove straight before we had auto steer. It's brutal. But sometimes they still come in handy, so that's what they're for. All right, more end rows. So this field here is that early planted bean field. Phil finished planting it today. The early beans are right over there. I'm just kind of turning around in this corner we've got here. There's a lane that kind of separates these fields, so we can turn through them. It's not a big deal. Find the line, there we go. It's gonna get dark. I'm gonna have to turn the lights on. Well, it doesn't look like it on my phone. Alright. Personally, I find the Gen 4 monitors easier to use for new operators, but the GS3 monitors are quicker to navigate if you know them well. Yeah, and that's what I'm afraid of, is that my dad and Phil know how to use the 2630s. They don't know anything about the Gen 4s, so as we transition over, there's going to be a learning curve there, and I need to know it well enough that when they call me and say, what the heck do, I can walk them through it without actually being in front of the monitor. So I don't know. What does it cost to plant corn per acre roughly? Well, that depends on what you're asking. Are you asking total cost all in with seed, chemicals, fertilizer, land costs, equipment cost, and everything? That's a big number that I'd have to sit down and do some figuring. Just what we're doing now, we're putting about $30 an acre of fertilizer out here, and we're putting about $75 or $80 an acre in seed. The cost of running the planter over it, if I was custom hiring it done, it'd probably cost $10-12 an acre to plant. Doing it ourselves is that expensive. Oh, we're good. When you add in all the cost of the fertilizer and the chemicals and the land, and you're talking $400 or $500 anyway. So corn's not cheap to plant. 15 42, 2 inches, 4 inches, 40. Yeah, that's colder than here. Ground temperatures. Hey, from Australia. Just wondering if you could be more active on Instagram. Yeah, sorry, Joseph. I will be more active on Instagram as we get back in the field and stuff. I kind of fell apart on it over the winter here. Just not enough cool stuff going on. I posted something yesterday. I should again today. Doesn't look like I'm going to get a great sunset, so we'll miss it. But I'll try and get back onto that and doing some more. Might have missed it, but how are the first beans you planted a few weeks ago coming? Yep. So they're just starting to spike through a little bit. You can kind of see them are starting to bubble up. I actually showed them in today's video, not the live stream, but the video that will come out tomorrow morning. So watch that for a more detailed update. Hello from Kansas. Hope the weather holds so you can get everything planted. Yeah, thanks. We just got to get past Wednesday and be dry enough, and then we're home free, I think. Does the 8R have enough horsepower to pull the new anhydrous bar? Oh yeah, the 8R will pull it no problem. So it is the same shanks or same number of rows as our old anhydrous bar. The old anhydrous bar was a shank style that was running, 8 inches deep through the ground. It pulled a lot harder than the new one will. The new one will pull easier, but you pull it faster, so it takes power to go fast as well. But we won't have any problem there. Alright, now the end rows are done, so we can kind of cruise through this field. It'll go a lot faster. We got about 18 acres. Take me 45 minutes to an hour to finish this. Alright, look at this. So you can see where I threw that marker down, and pretty much dead center of the tractor. So that's what the markers are for, to make that line so that you can follow it if you don't have auto steer. Love the channel, watch every day, watching from Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Thank you. Gonna get some snow, I see. Are you worried about that seed? Yeah, kind of, and I've talked about this a couple times now, but I am not concerned about the beans that we just planted. I am very concerned about the early planted beans that are starting to poke through, and I am fairly concerned about the corn that we're planting right now. But I decided I would kick myself if I didn't do it, and so we're trying it. We're gonna plant 70-ish acres here and see what happens. I should do my math better. I think we got, what did they say we did over there? 55, 53, I think it was. And there's 22 in this field, so I guess that's like 75. Alright. Usually plant May 10th to June 20th in Texas. Temps are cool in the mornings, 23-degree mornings and 55 in the day. Wow. Dry, also 3 inches since last summer. Yeah, that's pretty dry. I hear North Dakota's really dry. I don't know if Dennis, I don't know if you're on here or not, but he tells me every day how dry it is in North Dakota, and I feel for them guys. Amber's calling for a low of 23 for me on Wednesday. Ours hasn't shown 23, it's shown 26, but that's still pretty cold. I'm doing well, Andrew. Thanks for asking. How are you guys doing? Do you notice any difference in the planters after the winter work on them? A little. So, I mean, everything's running pretty well on this planter. The new closing wheels, those spiked closing wheels, certainly leave a different look to the rows after we plant them. But they seem to be doing a good job. Time will tell on that. It's more of a, does it affect the crusting, or how is it going to affect emergence? So, jury's still out, but everything seems to be working pretty well and doing what it's supposed to do. You know, we put new fertilizer blades and boots on this planter. They're getting the fertilizer in the ground. They're working like they're supposed to. Some of the things are just wear parts that you're not going to notice a huge difference, but it makes a difference and it adds up over time. So, yeah, planters are both working good. Northeast Mississippi, just found your live broadcast. Enjoy watching your videos. Thanks for joining. It got cold here for a few days in San Diego. Oh yeah, what did it get down to, like 50? Alright, so y'all have warmer weather heading that way. Yeah. Have you ever considered upgrading your tractors to LED lights, Larson or Tiger? Not really. The lights on this tractor are friggin' awesome. Like, it's got the HID, the high intensity discharge lights, the good factory lights, and they're very good. So I have a hard time taking good lights off and putting different ones on. I have put some LEDs on the 8300, but that tractor sees very little night use. So, you know, I'll get LED lights on new tractors when we trade, but I don't have any complaints about the lights that we have now. The 8430 is not quite as good as this tractor. I can see where that would help some, but they're not bad. So, is this video number? Oh yeah, let's set. So this is not video 400. I don't count my live streams in the numbering system. So the video I'm filming today is number 400. But that's part of the reason why I wanted to do live stream today, because we've made it to 400 videos. How did that happen? It's been a year and a half. Like, that's a lot of videos, guys. So thank you for coming along for the ride. Thanks for watching them. I'm blown away by the number of people that watch and the comments and everything, and it's super awesome, and I really, really appreciate it. And I'm going to keep making them because it's fun. So, yeah. Give me some feedback on my videos or in this live stream or Facebook or whatever. If there's something you want to see, something that bothers you. I did get a really nice email from a guy about a month ago that was critiquing my grammar and telling me that I shouldn't say go get them whatever, or it's those, not them in that situation. And he's 100% right. And I catch it after I say it, but I never even think about it when I'm saying the stuff. So there's little things like that that I try and work on, but it's not going to change. But if there's content or something that I can show you guys that you're interested in, let me know. You know, I've made 400 videos and I haven't run out of stuff yet, but the day's probably coming, right? They're also useful for helping find telephone poles in the field after dark, right? Yeah, the lights, yes. I assume that's what we're talking about there. Oh no, the markers. Yeah, you're talking about markers. Yeah, that's why they stay up most of the time. I don't need to hit anything. Why do you plant all of the end rows and then do the field? Right. So the reason that I plant the end rows first is because I'll show you right here. My monitor is making a map of where I planted, the blue area there. And so when I turn around here, you see those red bars on the bottom of the screen? Underneath there's a little white box. Well, when that box is white, it means the planner is telling it, or the computer is telling it, don't plant. This is already planted, don't plant. But watch what happens when I cross back into it. They all turn green. That's turning the seed flow back on. So it's eliminating all of my overlap. And by planting the end rows first, I don't get that overlap. If I planted through the field and then planted the ends last, I would have to pick the planter up and set it down in just the right spot every time. Or I'd have some gaps and overlap. So that's why I plant the ends first. There is a way to set up a headland boundary, but I haven't really played with that a lot. And if it's off a little bit, you're still going to be off. So the new pump on the sprayer work out well. Yeah, so rebuilt pump, not really a whole new one, but yes, as far as I know, Dad hasn't had any trouble with that, and it's working well. Are you able to keep some of your yield for next year's planting? All right, so you're asking about saving seed. On corn, no. I mean, probably technically you could, but corn, the seed we plant is a hybrid, which means it is a cross between two inbred parents, and it yields a lot better than planting an inbred, or if you were to save seed and try and plant that. Your yields would be terrible, and nobody would ever even attempt that because it's not worth the yield penalty. On beans, we're not able to save seed. The genetically modified beans, Roundup resistant, the Enlist beans, the Extend beans, they all have patents, and it is illegal to save seed from a previous crop and replant it. On wheat, I believe there's a little bit of wiggle room there. You can save your own seed and plant it on your farm. You cannot sell it to your neighbor. At least that's my understanding of the rule. I could be wrong there. I know in some instances on beans and maybe wheat that the actual varieties themselves are patented, and that prevents you from saving seed. But in general, no, you can't. Now, if you had some old non-GMO stuff, you probably could get away with it. What is basis in your area? Generally in southern Western Ontario, we're usually to $1 to $1.50 basis, like negative. Wow. So right now, basis is very high. I believe we are like, well, I shouldn't say it's very high. In certain places, I think you can get 5 to 10 over Chicago Board of Trade price. Other certain local places, maybe 10 to 20 under board price. Just depends on where you go. I couldn't even tell you what beans are. I think for 60 they usually are, and then it tightens up as we get past fall harvest. So I think Phil did sell some corn over $6 last week or 2 weeks ago, though. So that's awesome. How's your house building project now that your foundation is ready for building? I mean, they got the hole done this week, and that was the goal. They are supposed to pour the footers and the walls this week. We'll see if that happens. I think with the weather and as busy as they are, that may not happen, but hopefully we get something done this week. Trying to relax, enjoy my Saturday night. Now I'm stressed and feel like I should be planning things. Yeah, sorry, man. Sorry. That's how it works, though. I'm trying to get the neighborhood all riled up. I don't know if it's working or not. We had 3 tractors working within a half mile of each other here earlier today, so anybody driving by would have been like, all day. That or these guys are stupid. What are they doing? I'm going with that theory. How wide is your landau? Is it a disc or a vertical tillage tool? It is 29 feet, and yes, technically it is a 7431 VT vertical tillage tool, but let's be honest, it's a disc. It's a disc you can pull fast. No time to relax. There's work to do, yeah. Basis here in Wisconsin, get a 15 on old crop, 32 cents on new crop corn. Yeah, we're a little bit better than that, I think. You thought of doing strip till this fall. Underfirth has a new strip till bar. Yeah, if you know anybody at Underfirth that wants to bring me one of them strip till bars, I'd be all for it. Those things look awesome. I would love to try one. I probably can't afford the $200,000 that it would cost to buy one just to try it. If it was something we were actually going to buy into and do on a large number of acres, then it's justifiable. But I'm trying to find a way to try strip till reasonably, and so I haven't figured out how to do that yet. But yes, I would really like to. What's your next upgrade? I've got a rant about a seed tender that I'm going to talk about in tomorrow's video. That's the one that I'm hoping to upgrade next. But there is talk, there's talk of an air seeder to upgrade our drills. So maybe I'll have some information on that this week. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but we looked at one last week, so we'll see what happens there. At the headlands, are you manually lifting and lowering the planter, but the GPS starts and stops the seed? Yes, that is how it works. There is a way that I can make it do it all by itself, and I'll probably play with that and put it in a video at some point this spring, but for the most part it's easier for me to just do it. So I am physically turning the steering wheel and turning the tractor and pushing the button to engage the auto steer and clicking the lever to lower the planter. Alright, it's time for lights, and I don't see any other tractors, so yeah, I won the light game tonight. Alright. I've watched every video, and this is my first live stream I've actually caught. Keep it up. Wow, that's awesome. To catch 400 of them or watch 400 videos, you're dedicated. One thing that I sometimes struggle with making these videos and numbering is I hate the thought of somebody not starting to watch my channel because they think they're joining it in the middle. Like, and maybe that's because that's something I do. I won't watch a TV series if I can't watch it from the beginning. Like, I've caught an episode or two of SEAL Team 6, I think it is, on CBS. It looks like a pretty good show, but I'm so far behind I can't catch up, and I can't watch it from the middle. Like, I feel lost. And I don't want people to feel like that. Like, you can jump into any one of my videos, and it might take you a couple of days to catch on to what's going on, but you'll be in there. And so, I hope people don't take the fact that I put 400 videos out as a deterrent from watching my channel. How much down pressure do you have to run in that tilled ground? Well, I'm running 40 pounds of margin. Let me see if I can tell on the monitor how many pounds of downforce it actually is. Looks like about 105 pounds is all, so not a lot. Yeah, that's good. You're a farming channel. Teaching ag, not an English teacher. Yeah, I know. I still like to be a good example most of the time. Do you use Xyway fungicide? I do not. I feel like I've heard of that one, but that's not one that we use. So Golden Harvest is owned by Syngenta. I tend to be fairly brand loyal to Syngenta, good or bad. They have some pretty good rebate programs with their Agri Edge program that we stick with them for the most part. So they have some really good fungicides with this Miravis Neo and with Trivapro, so we stick with those. You could wear more green and white. Hey, Al, it's almost warm enough for me to wear my t-shirt again. I probably have worn it, but I've had a hoodie on over it, and you just haven't seen it, so sorry, man. Will there be a new 8RX on the farm in the future? Great job. Man, I would love to have an 8RX. I'm very seriously going to look at tracks. I can almost guarantee that the next planter will be tracks. I can't say that it will be an 8RX, and I don't know when that will happen. But we'll probably at least take a look at them. It's for your fall harvest update. It's for your fall harvest update. Yeah. I've got a box in the cupboard. They'll be in the trailer when we come back. Actually, I'll probably eat them before we're... Gosh, sorry. I'm right on that cell phone service edge. I hope you can hear me okay, even if you can't see me okay. My wife is all for it. She's never said anything to the contrary. My dad took a while to warm up to it and to really want to be on camera, and he still doesn't want to be, but I can get him on camera occasionally. There's some things that he likes showing off, like his steam bending we did earlier and some of his woodworking stuff. But it's not like I'm going to hand him a camera and say, here, film something for me today. So he's cool with it. It's fine. I think he thinks it's dumb, but he understands. Or, well, he doesn't understand why people want to do it or watch it, but he understands why I'm making them and stuff. So that's good. Phil, I don't know what he thinks. We've never really... I know he doesn't want to be on camera. I'm not going to push that. I'm not going to put him on camera because you don't want to be... Fine, don't. But I don't think he has a problem with me doing it so much. I know some people have said something to him about it, just people that we know around here that say they saw something in the video, and he said something about that to me the other day, and it was fine. So, I don't know. Give a $1 base. Wow, that's really good, actually. Nice. Would you go back to an STS combine like a 9870? Well, so the STS is technically their designation for a rotor machine, and even the newer combines are rotors. We will not go backwards. Combine is something we are considering and looking at probably after this fall, but we'll likely look at like a S780 or something in that ballpark. It won't be an X9, but yeah. So if you're asking if I would go back to a 9870, no, I won't. The people that lost their farm, yeah, there are people that have lost their farms reusing seed. That is true. That's why land is over, yeah, because of your high basis. Yes. Oh, from Illinois, how's your day? We're doing good now. It was a struggle getting started, but you get me in a tractor and everything gets better suddenly, so. How long have we been on here? An hour and 8 minutes. All right, well, we've got another less than a half hour to go. I'll keep going here for a little bit, but we're going to start winding this live stream down before I get to the end of the field. Would you ever put on independent row hydraulic down pressure on the planter? Again, that's another thing that I would love to have, hydraulic down pressure. But here's all the things that I would love to have on a planter that I don't have. Row cleaners, hydraulic down pressure, electric drive, high-speed electric drive, exact emerge. In-furrow fertilizer. Sorry, that should be 5. In-furrow fertilizer. 2x2x2 liquid fertilizer system, both in-furrow and 2x2x2. Potentially pneumatically controlled closing wheels, because I hear very good things about them. So, do you know how much it would cost me to put all of those things on a planter? More than this planter is worth. And so I've kind of made the decision that rather than upgrading this one and putting a bunch of those things on that you're not going to get the money back out of them at trade-in time, I would rather, when the time is right, trade this planter in, get one set up exactly the way that I want in the future. So when we trade planters, it will have hydraulic downforce. It will be a high-speed planter. It will have row cleaners. It may or may not have 2x2x2. It may or may not have in-furrow. Those are things we'll talk about. Dad and I will talk about. Phil will get in on the conversation. But there are certain things that are going to be on my next planter, but I'm going to get them on the next planter and not this planter. So I know a couple of the other guys, Zach just upgraded his planter. I just have felt like that the economics aren't there. Zach probably spent close to $100,000 upgrading that planter. I'd rather trade. Well, maybe Zach didn't, but I would. Well, mine's a 16-row, so it wouldn't cost as much. His was a 24-row. But yeah, it's not cheap to do that. Does corn seed get treated? Yes, corn gets treated. The reason you have not seen me treating corn is because I don't do it. Corn is all treated from the factory level, upstream they call it, not downstream like I am. It's not an option to order corn untreated and put it on myself because of the application. Because of the necessity to be gentle on the seed and protect the germination rates and all of that stuff, they do not allow downstream treated corn. But it is treated. This corn that we are planting right now is what we call a Victa 500. So a Victa is a seed treatment that we use on corn for nematodes, free-living nematodes, not cyst nematodes. And it also has Cruiser in it, the insecticide. It has several different fungicides, Maxim, Dynasty, Vibrance, and so there's a pretty hefty seed treatment package on this corn. Okay. If screen is froze, refresh F5. Dude, this is a cell phone. What do you mean hit F5? How many acres do you do in a year? Well, we farm a little over 3,000, so we'll plant just shy of 1,500 acres of corn this year. Well, actually, we're going to be a fair amount shy of that this year. Somewhere in the 12 to 1,300 range. Did you get a lot of people stopping by and being a pest? I assume you mean like people from my YouTube stopping, just finding the place. No, it's happened once or twice so far. If that becomes a thing, I will shut this down because I can't have that. I'm not okay with people just stopping by and showing up. So please don't do that. Send me a Facebook message, whatever. Don't show up at my farm. We're going to get the same snow on Tuesday here in Illinois. Yeah, the band kind of runs on an angle from central Illinois up through us, and there was one thing that I saw that said the town just east of us, Morenci, from there to, where was it, Port Huron or Ann Arbor or somewhere north and east was like the heaviest of the snow band, and they had like 9 inches. I'm like, oh crap. I hope that doesn't happen. But what is 2x2x2? Okay, so the fertilizer system that I have on this planter is what we call a 2x2 system. So it puts the fertilizer band 2 inches beside the seed and supposedly 2 inches below the seed. And so that's your 2x2. A 2x2x2 system would go both sides of the seed 2 inches over and 2 inches below. So it's putting fertilizer underneath the seed on both sides. So instead of just one side where all your roots are growing this way, you get roots going both directions. And I've got a neighbor to the north that has that system, I think, or a similar system where they're putting fertilizer on both sides of the row. and seen really good things from that. So I think there's an advantage to that. Thanks for the live stream, daily videos. Congrats on 400. Thank you. Much better than you think you are at farming and YouTube. Yeah, I suppose. My channel's different. I have something different than a lot of other ones do, and I feel like that's good enough reason for me to keep doing it. The ag YouTube market is rather saturated at this point, and I understand that, and that's why I don't have 100,000 subscribers, and I'm cool with that. It's fine. It's not for everybody. I'm not the most entertaining, but I try to be the most informative, so, or detailed, I guess. Really like watching your boys on the videos. Good job. Can't be easy all the time. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. The last few weeks have been a challenge, but I really enjoy having them with me, and it'll be interesting here over the next few weeks to see how things go. They are going to be with me tomorrow and maybe Tuesday, so you guys will see them some more here. Thanks, Nathan, for sharing. That's what you meant. Sharing. Got it. Good luck the upcoming season. Hope everything goes smoothly. Thank you. Can we get... can't mention... Yeah, you're right. We cannot mention that town. Still going to put chicken manure on. Did that work for your yields last year? Yes, we really like that. Chicken manure is a fertilizer after wheat, so we will do more of that. Are you planting behind your dad's... Right, yes, we are planting right behind the farm where my parents live, yes. I don't know why that light's on. That's bugging me. Why is that light on? Huh. Electrical gremlins. Anyway. You have more viewers than CNN. Yeah, that may be true. Thanks. When are you going to get some merch? Yeah, it's something I've thought about. I don't get a ton of requests for it, so, you know, if people start asking, I'll think about it harder, but we've contemplated some designs. My wife tells me that I need to get some shirts made up to wear on my channel, and I said if I do that, everybody's going to ask for it. So, it may happen. I'm not there yet, but it may happen. What is the amount of work you put into your, what's the amount of work you put into your machinery this winter, a standard amount? Do you have to do all that every year? For the most part, yes. Now, certain things don't get done every year, so some years will be more than others. This year, you know, we did different things to the combine than I've done other years, but as far as maintenance goes and changing oil and bringing them through the shop and checking everything out, absolutely we do that every year for pretty much every piece of equipment. I will say this about doing the YouTube videos. I found that it motivates me to actually do something in the winter. I would normally spend a fair amount of time on the computer and be a little bit more laid back, but I gotta have something to film, so I gotta do something every day, which helps me get through things faster. And having Brock around this winter really helped us get through projects faster. There, we're back. Sorry. Lost cell phone coverage there for a second. I think I might be out of seed. Aw, crap. No? Maybe? Nah, we gotta go out and walk. Alright, you guys wanna go? Let's go. So I put plenty of seed in for this field. The issue was my scales aren't working on my tender, and I may not have got my boxes even, so one of them may be a little low, and we might have to... Nope, that one's got plenty. And that one's got plenty. Alright, well then we got to check our hoses to make sure we're getting seed to the rows. Or maybe I just hit a rock and it bounced all the seed off the plate. I'm not sure. I don't remember which rows it was telling me. Something over here. Any seed on that plate? Alright, well we're going to try it again. I'm going to wiggle the hoses and see if I hear anything. They do not. Seems all right. I don't know what the deal. Sorry about that one again, guys. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Do you put chicken litter or do you still put on dry fertilizer? Where we put chicken litter, we do not put dry fertilizer. What is going on? All right, I gotta go, guys. Something's going on. I'm not getting seed to my rows, and I don't know why. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Anything I can see here real quick? I think you're entertaining, especially when Brock gets stuck. Yeah, thank you. Do you have any challenges bordering 2 states? There's issues with having to deal with 2 states and stuff, but no, not really. Take a border view hooded sweatshirt. All right, if we put everything on planters and corn companies think we need averages. Yeah, that's true too. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Watch tomorrow. I'm gonna start filming for that right now. So we'll do another live stream soon, I promise. Thanks. See you guys.